one and only Clobberin Times! Seven views in media! Light the fires while all up a Stone Loki! Guest Classic Comics! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Comic Book Roundtable! Greetings, one and all, and welcome to the Comic Book Roundtable. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and with me tonight, of course, are my co-hosts. Oh, I'm almost out of breath doing all that. Clobberin Times, 24/7 Fusion Media, and special guest, Classic Comics. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, hello, chat. And welcome, my friends.
24/7 looks psyched. Let's blow that shit up? Can we hear it? Can we get it? Blow that shit up?
Blow that shit up. Let's do it.
Oh, we got to clobber some shit with Clobberin Times. How you doing, my friend?
Buddy. Oh, all right, man. Looking forward to it.
I missed you guys last week. I missed doing this last week.
Always miss it.
And of course, our special guest. What is 24 is already pulling out the comics. Like, I got some shit to show y'all.
I got the long stack right here.
All right, man. We're gonna see some comics tonight. All right. I love that.
Yeah. Let's do it.
And our guest, Classic Comics. How are you doing, Classic?
Doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Heck yeah, thanks for coming on, brother. Thanks for bagging and boarding with 24. Blow that shit up. You gotta do a stream. Bagging and boarding with 24, blowing that shit up.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. That's yeah. So I got some Lobos I need to bag up. So yeah, that's old Lobos. When before they cucked them.
And let's say hello to the chat. Day Bob, what is up? The rooster in the in-house, my brother from another mother. Good evening, Day Bob. Psychodorf 9. All right, if you want me to type, I can't paint. Oh, bro, if you got to paint. That's totally cool. Totally good with that. You're all good. Machiny Draws, what is up, my friend? Hey. How are you doing? Good evening, Machiny. Good evening, my friend. Kicking ass and taking names. Good evening, Leia Rose. Good evening, Leia Rose. Gwagnar. I hope I said that correctly. I hope I said the name correctly. It says hello, everyone. Well, hello, Gwagnar. Good evening. Kal-El, what's up? Stephen M, what is up? Kal-El 48. Good evening. Good evening. Lord Bob, Brandon Looney Tunes fan 2000. Ghost Rider, what is up, my brother? How are you doing? And of course, the Wrenches, Chris Persia, the Wrench of Wrenches is here. Hey. Good evening, Chris. I don't know if Mark's here or not, or if he's still on the one with Mary, but good evening, guys. Thank you for being here. We're going to be talking some nonsense from Clobberin Times' Alan Moore version of Alan Moore tonight.
Yes, it's good to be here tonight, folks. Yes, you bunch of fascists. Look, I don't mind trying to teach you all what a bunch of fascists you all are.
Tell us
Oh,
about
I'm
V
kidding.
for Vendetta.
Uh,
What did you write V for
oh,
Vendetta?
I was predicting the future when I wrote V for Vendetta. It was about this guy named Loki who was really a big fascist pig who didn't knock anybody, and I thought that would be really a great comic book to see. And the whole DC screwed it up, of course. Sorry.
I didn't understand any of that, but okay.
You weren't supposed to.
I'm just a fascist. I'm just a fascist that a fascist adult that likes comic books.
Yes. Who you calling an adult?
Oh shit.
So I don't understand something. And I would like to ask the chat this too. So guys, you're more than welcome. Throw your comments in the chat. Let us know what you guys think. Batman, how can Batman be a fascist? This is something I don't understand. Batman spends millions of dollars fighting crime every year. He has a thankless job in Gotham. It's not like the community's coming out going, "Yay, Batman!" I mean, half of them hate him because half of Gotham are criminals. It smells nasty in Gotham, and he's out there fighting crime on his own dime. How can that be fascist?
Well,
only to a sick mind, but go ahead.
I was just going to say, I mean, fascist is just kind of this term they throw around. It's basically just means people I don't like, whether it's fascist or, I don't know, alt-right or whatever. It's just this kind of blanket term they throw around. I don't think half of them even know what fascism is.
No, it's absolutely right. Fascist is exactly the way you put it. People that disagree with me, that's to these people. In other words, that disagree with people like Moore is fascist. And he used to not be that way. I mean, he used to be at least someone, at least could have conversations with the other side. He's always been a bit wacko when it comes to that stuff. But now it's just, he's one of those. I mean, but he is a god on Mount Olympus now. So a snake god, I think.
How can Superman be fascist? Unless we're talking about Red Sun Superman. How can Superman be fascist?
Ooh.
Saving people is fascist, I guess. Rescuing planes out of the air and cats from trees, and stopping people from hurting others, and all that is somehow these people can find a way around to calling someone a fascist in anyway. And I didn't even see this article yet. So.
Now
We should probably tell everybody what it is, but yeah.
I'm sorry. So I was going to say, I do think that one can make a legit argument that Batman is in effect a terrorist, but it's just that he directs his terrorism at the criminal element.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I wouldn't disagree with that description of Batman.
No.
Ghost Rider brings up asking us about Werewolf by Night, the one-off. Yes, we're going to talk about that because I know 24 was like, we're going to talk about that Werewolf one-off. I know 24 wants to get there. I know he does. Yes, we will get there. Phantom Outsider says Batman is a control freak, but he's not a fascist. He doesn't force anyone to do anything. But if you are victimizing people in Gotham, he's going to kick your ass.
Yeah.
So I saw this really cheesy like hand-drawn comic called Super Simp. And it was like a play on Superman, and he saves this woman's life. She falls off of a building and he saves her, and she goes, "Thank you for saving my life, Super Simp. Now I need help with my rent, and could you please fly me to my boyfriend?" And I was like, wow.
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 Wow. Super simp. There you go.
Super simp. But that is that what they want
He's not a
Superman to
fascist
be?
either. But,
Basically, yeah.
Well,
That,
In
but
Alan
also
Moore,
gay.
yeah, well, yeah, of course. In Alan Moore's case, he's pissed off at anybody that enjoys anything he doesn't like. He thinks that's too lowbrow now, even though none of us would know his name without superheroes. Sorry, Alan, without you deconstructing superheroes or even writing some of the good stories you did that portrayed them in a good light. None of us would know who you are. Maybe he's bitter about that he didn't get where he is from being in one of his crappy rock band that he started out when he was a kid, or later that he's been trying to have forever, or his when he would try to dabble in writing these obscure movies and some of his novels. Maybe he's just pissed that the name he made for himself is because of Watchmen and The Killing Joke and these other things that he now despises. I don't know. He's absolutely nuts. To say that. I mean, I want to see the article because I don't know I don't know why he's calling anybody a he might say, look, because before I saw it, he was just saying, if you're an adult, maybe you should grow up and not read silly fantasy stories about superheroes, which is ridiculous. People have been saying that for years. But if you call somebody a fascist, Rorschach, he turned basically his version of the question when he was not allowed to use the question. He turned the question into a model off of Ayn Rand because Steve Ditko created the question and Mr. A. He kind of took Rorschach and based him on those. And he made Rorschach that he considered Rorschach to be a fascist. But not everybody in the comic was. And, he did write Rorschach similar to that. Sure, even back then, it's what he considered to be a fascist. But when he wrote other comics and other characters, he didn't act like any of those characters were fascist. So I want to know what he's talking about here.
So this is a part of the article, guys. I put a link up for the Bounding in Comics article. These are his words. I didn't really think that superheroes were adult fare. I think that this was a misunderstanding born of what happened in the 1980s. And he admits fault here. At least he admits fault for his own thoughts, to which I must put my hand up to a considerable share of the blame, though it was not intentional, when things like Watchmen were first appearing.
Yes, before that, see, here's the thing. Before that, he took a character called Marvel Man that was a British knockoff of the real Captain Marvel. And over there, he basically turned him into a horror show, but it was a great comic. He turned him into a horrific character. And then later, when it became over the States, it's now Miracle Man. And he did it. That's before he did Watchmen. He took Swamp Thing into far, far darker places before he did Watchmen. And then he did some other superhero stories that were a lot lighter from some other characters, short stories here and there. But Watchmen was his deconstruction. He was kind of ripping off a book called Super Folks that was done a few years earlier, but it was a novel. And he was taking it down a deconstructionist road. But as he says, he's owned up to that later. He thought, even though he didn't start hating on Watchmen until 20-something years later, he did say that what it had wrought, he and Miller with Miller's Dark Knight Returns, set the comics industry down a bad trail. And I totally agree with him. I blamed him that forever. However, Miller never owned up to it. Moore did, and I was fine with him for that. But Miller, in fact, did a lot of comics in the 90s that he felt like he was making up for it a little bit by making these superhero characters lighter in tone and going back to some of their light origins. But even at that point, he didn't hate them. And he said, because he's right. They were created to entertain 12-year-old boys. That's what they were for. He's right about that. It's just that he still wrote them for 12-year-old boys later and for 20 and 30-year-old people as well to enjoy. And he didn't hate them or hate the art form or the genre until the past maybe 10, 15 years. And why that's the case, I don't know. I think he's bitter.
And he says there were an awful lot of headlines saying comics had grown up. I tend to think that no, comics hadn't grown up. There were a few titles that were more adult than people were used to, but the majority of comics titles were pretty much the same as they'd ever been. It wasn't comics growing up. I think it was more comics meeting the emotional age of the audience coming the other way. That's back and forth bullshit talk. He's talking himself in a circle there.
The thing about this is you got to understand who's actually writing the comic books. I know they're you gotta, they're writing it for kids at one point, but then again it's adults writing it, and they're not writing it with any kind of like kitty banter. I mean, this is like, look, man, you read that shit, it's some of the shit in these books, man, and it's like, who's gonna add more, than like a teenager, or folks, getting into adulthood and then on. I mean, yeah, you can't throw the Watchmen at a 12-year-old, man.
No. And he talks about 2011 here. I'm sorry, but all I remember is adults fighting to get into Batman 89. Yeah, sure. There were kids there, but this was a huge thing. There was a shit ton of adults, shit ton of kids. Everybody and their mom wanted to see Batman 89. I remember I went and saw that movie 4 times. Every single time I went to see that in the theater, it was packed. It was jam-packed to the rafters. You either got there early or you got the shitty front row. And the first time I saw it, I had the shitty front row, and we got there 15 minutes early. And we still got the shitty front row. Why? Because everybody wanted to see that movie. So I don't really take as 2011. Oh, it was said around 2011, people lining up to see Batman. Well, Batman was already kind of going the way of the pair at that point. It wasn't really until Dark Knight that movie Batman was starting to like really come back. You can say that the first Batman movie they did with what's his fucking name?
Keaton. With Adam West?
No, not Keaton. The
with Val Kilmer?
No, it was after.
Bale.
It was Christian Bale. Thank you.
Oh, you mean later in 2005? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Even that first movie wasn't. Oh, we lost 24. Even that first movie wasn't heralded as like a great success. Bale's first movie, it wasn't until Dark Knight that people were like, oh my God, this is badass. This is the best. This is blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, Heath Ledger is Joker. All that shit happened with Dark Knight. It wasn't until that happened that those movies were taken extremely seriously. That first movie isn't that great. It's not. I hate to break it to you. And where are the other dogs? That's that. Now the fight scene, that first fight scene where he's in the shadows and that guy walks up to that shipping container and he just gets sucked inside. I was like, oh shit, yes. I was like, okay, yeah. Some of the fight scenes were great, but again, they were like cut up. It was super edited to the point where all you got was like 1 second of him moving around and then back, and there wasn't any kind of long shot with him fighting. It was all cut and paste.
Yeah, Nolan's not great with action scenes.
No, he's not. What concerns me about this article, because I guess I never got a chance to read it, but I'm seeing something here. Unless he said something earlier, what is his point? Because he says this cannibalization of modern culture by superhero fare was particularly worrying to more, as he believed this widespread fanaticism towards characters and stories intended for children was served as the perfect primer for the acceptance of general fascism. What do the two have to do with each other? What does fascism have to do with? Maybe you're saying a cultural decline where people may have crappy taste, in your opinion? How in the hell do people liking superhero movies have anything to do with fascism? Are you brain dead? Answer yes. Did the drugs you I'm surprised there are any drugs left on the planet after you got through doing them all, Alan.
I could agree with that.
I said around 2011 that I thought that it had serious and worrying implications for the future of millions of adults who are querying up to see Batman movies, starting more because that kind of infantilization that urged towards simpler realities that can very often be a precursor to fascism. What?
Sharon, where's my Xanax? That's Ozzy talking to Alan.
I mean, as if we've never had lower, what at least some consider to be lower brow entertainment before. And that's just because he's an elitist shithead who's judging everyone for the entertainment they enjoy. Dude, it's just a cinematic fad like everything else.
Cal48 says it was an okay retelling of Batman's origin story and almost makes up for that Batman film that shall not be named, which came out in 1997. I liked Arnold as Mr. Freeze. I'm sorry. You can hate me
Did
all
you
you
really?
want to. When he's got those fucking furry slippers on, and I'm Mr. White Christmas, I'm Mr. Snow, dun 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 dun, and he's sitting there smoking. I thought that was fucking. I was like,
So
okay,
bad.
Arnold's just jumped right into this, and he's like, fuck it, I'll do it my way.
There's a panel, by the way, from one of his greatest comics that Alamo wrote.
The rest of that movie can kiss my fat white ass, but the Mr. Freeze bits, I really like the Mr. Freeze bits. So June Wong with $5 super chat says, question for the panel: as a creator, how do we know if our own take is bad? How do we know if we think I have a better idea that it's actually a good idea?
You don't really. You just take a chance. Otherwise, you never write anything and never get anything produced.
Yeah, ultimately,
yeah. You just got to jump out there. I put off doing this show for like 2 years. I put off doing Mornings of Mischief. I could have started 2 years earlier. I didn't. I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I don't know if I'd know all the wonderful people I know today. I don't know if I'd ever met Mexican Iron Man or Clobby or 24. I'm glad I did it the way I did it, but I put it off because I didn't think anybody would give a shit. And at the end of the day, I was wrong. I had a great idea. I just had to implement it.
You can't worry about that if you're a writer or a creator of any kind, because I got news for you. You could, whatever you put out there, there are going to be 50 people that think it's wonderful and 50 that think it's bad, and you're never going to. Now, you hope to get more people liking you that don't, but let's say it's something that is generally accepted as really good and people love it. There will still be people that don't like it. That's the universe for you. So you can't worry about it. Put it out there.
Oh, no, I completely agree with you, Callow. The Bat credit card, no. The Bat card, don't leave home without it. No, I thought the campiness of the Arnold Schwarzenegger bits is Freeze. I did like that. It's going to be a cold night in Gotham.
He alone maybe wanted to leave the theater, but that line with the credit card, I don't know why I didn't get up and leave then. I should have. Don't leave home. Not leave the theater, definitely.
And I was excited. I saw Bane. I thought Bane was going to be in this. Instead, we got some like mutant reject. Yes, mistress.
Deep Swenson.
I just, I was excited. I thought it was going to be a good movie. I really did.
He almost did the backbreaker, man.
He almost did, but he didn't.
Oh shit!
I thought they'd go ballsy. I really did, and they didn't. They didn't go ballsy. It would have been a great time to introduce Nightwing and some other things, because Batman and Robin really weren't getting along that well. And so you bring in Nightwing and you have a whole new setup. And no, they're not going to do that. They're not going to take any chances. No taking chances in Hollywood with Superman movies, for God's sakes.
Yeah. Yes. The Saturday Morning Watchmen, that was hilarious, Pat.
That cartoon animated thing.
Yeah, the animated like spoof of the Saturday Morning Watchmen credits. Have you ever seen that, Loki? It's hilarious.
I ain't never seen that.
Look it up. Saturday Morning Watchmen, everybody. Go find it. It's done back around 2009.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
A parody of if Watchmen had been a Saturday morning cartoon. It's fantastic.
Okay, yeah, I'll check it out.
But I think it's interesting that, of course, in the past we had Seduction of the Innocent back in the 50s, which basically depicted comics as being a bad influence on kids, encouraging them to be criminals and possibly homosexuals and other things, coming from a more kind of conservative I guess conservative is the word, view.
Mm-hmm.
And that's long been held as being like ridiculous and all that. And now from the left, we're getting this argument that comics are bad, but bad because they make people fascist. And I think it's just that people on the left, I don't think they like the idea of individuals taking action. They want, they think about the collective, and they want people going along with what the group does. They don't like individualism and the idea of like this individual that can step up and make a difference in that way. I think that's part of what
it's a very good point.
Fuels this.
And he says something really interesting at the end. They were talking closing thoughts and asked him about the Guy Fawkes mask in V for Vendetta. And he said, I can't endorse everything that people who take that mask as an icon might do in the future, of course, but I'm heartened to see that it has been adopted by protest movements so widely across the world, because we need protest movements now more than we've ever done before.
Typical, stereotypical, almost classic lefty, modern day lefty who thinks of protests or movements or anything special, or somehow protesting is the way to run everything. It's like, it's just, dude, go crapify Wall Street, Alan. Jesus. Go take a dump on Wall Street and live in a tent there like your Occupy people. I mean, go move to Seattle, Alan. You're just such an idiot. You're a cliche at this point.
So at the end of the day,
he's a wizard too, you know.
Oh yeah, you're a wizard, Harry.
We could transport there.
How does this affect people that love comics? I mean, more and more and more, what we're seeing is, this isn't yours anymore. You shouldn't have anything to say about this. You have no right to talk about this. You have no right to say anything about Rainbow Cape Superman that is doing all this stuff, whose book just got canceled, who's being replaced by the original Superman again, because these books aren't going anywhere. You've got people that are saying, well, the 80s and the 90s ruined comic books for everybody because of the way comic book studios treated the comic book fan. That this was all ruined already in the 80s and 90s, and this is just the way to reset it for the true fans of comic books, not us old 40 and 50 years old that loves these stories, that love comics. This is a way for a new generation to go, oh my God, look, it's Captain Crunch. And he's like at a BLM rally and he's like kicking us and taking names. But, you know, he's a bad guy because he's got the wrong skin color. So we're going to make a brown Captain Crunch just for the BLM rights. That's what comic books are today, really. That's what it's about.
Well, that's why they don't sell. Alan, you ought to go back into the business after all, dude. I mean, it's perfect for you now. For your garbage. I mean, they're all your people now in there. Go make $20 because you can't really make much at it, but you know. The only time anyone pays attention to you, Alan, is when you say things in public. That every time he only gets, you know, he was in some stupid movie that no one even cared about last year. He had some kind of TV series, I think it was too. He had a book, nobody cares. As soon as he mouths off and insulting comics fans, it gets all over the place.
Chris Persia says hypocrite. He only supports certain ideals under protest. We saw a lot of that. Not too long ago. Hey guys, you can't.
I mean, that's just standard on the left. The whole left is like that.
Yeah, and he's as cliched as it gets. Except he lives in a castle with, on Olympus, and he's a snake god and a wizard and all this other stuff. So, yeah, you wrote some good comics, dude, because you're good at making up really great stories, stealing from a lot of sources, I might add, but still brilliant takes on good things and stuff. Doesn't mean you're capable of practical thinking. You probably can't walk down the street and chew bubblegum at the same time. He can't do anything practical, but he can make things up. Now he can't even do that anymore. So yeah.
Why can't people just tell stories anymore? I don't understand. I get it. I mean, there's this thing and you have to go by it, and it's this score, and the score tells you, well, guess what? You can't have the Superman you've always loved. You got to have this other version. That's the only way that this is going to get made. Or you have to have this version of Batman that is a bad guy that killed Superman and then ended up getting fried by Batgirl because, you know, reasons. Because she's the only true Batgirl. You can only have these certain types of heroes and villains because a scorecard tells you that's the only way.
Right. If he's coming after comics from I think that, you know, he doesn't think that he has a problem, for example, with people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s still enjoying these characters in these movies or something like that. If he's coming out from an artistic standpoint where he thinks this, you know, you should be, then that's just a matter of opinion, and it's him. It's elitist, but it's okay, whatever. That's your opinion, and it's not. You know, he's just trying to insult people that like things he doesn't like. That's just being elitist and snotty. to employ the word fascism in there to say that somehow if you like that stuff, because does that mean that he's saying now he's not even bothering to say how old you are. He's saying anyone liking anything to do with these superhero characters are somehow are in danger of becoming fascist for some whatever reason. So basically, he must be thinking that these characters who do these good things for people, who do altruistic things by saving people all the time and fighting evil, somehow are fascist. That might make you the baddie, Alan. I hate to tell you this. That might make you the bad guy.
And Colonel Sin, if you're still there, greetings, brother. Thank you for hopping in. Thank you for your member chat. Colonel Sin has been a member for 16 months and is a warrior of Asgard.
Party.
Thank you so very much, brother. I'm sorry I didn't catch this earlier, and then I just got this now. Hopefully you're still here. Thank you so much for the member chat, brother. So 24, what do you got to show off? You wanted to talk werewolf too. That was one of the things you brought up earlier. I want to talk werewolf. One off.
Yeah, I mean, it's we can show off something. We can talk
Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on to your back issues of that and Bloodstone, because all of a sudden they're going for the roof.
Well, I don't even have any I don't have any Werewolf by Nights or any Bloodstone comics. But
Bloodstone was only in two of those. Marvel Presents 1 and 2, and then he was in some backs of some Rampaging Hulk issues. But they did kind of jump up for comics that were usually in the quarter bins and the dollar bins.
Was Bloodstone based off the Full Moon Entertainment movies that were called?
Okay. In the mid 70s, there was a comic that was supposed to be like a tryout, but called Marvel Presents. First two issues of a character called Ulysses Bloodstone. And then he popped up in a couple of Hulk issues back in the back, and they're like Rampaging Hulk mags. And then in the 2000s, they brought his daughter back. They said he was dead, and she became Alyssa or whatever. What was her name? Elsa. And she was more like a Laura Croft type of a character. She even looked like him. She didn't look like him in the show. So that's him. What now?
Wasn't he like kind of like a safari hunter kind of dude?
He was a man. It was a caveman who would come across this bloodstone, a shard of it, and it made him live for 10,000 years, and he became a monster hunter. So he was a monster hunter.
That's what that's what it was. Yeah,
kind of like
some kind of hunter.
Kind of like Van Helsing.
Something along those lines. Like I say, he lived for 10,000 years at that point, and he, they were trying. They were trying to start a series. Right. Yeah, Len Wein and John Warner, some of them trying to make him as a regular character. It didn't really stick that much. It was popped up here and there later. And he's so obscure. When I first saw the beginning of Werewolf by Night and they mentioned him, I'm like, no, they didn't really have Bloodstone, did they? I mean, wow, weird, but cool.
Yo, that shit is. That damn show was.
You didn't like it?
Oh, I did.
I liked it too.
Oh man,
I have not seen it yet. I don't have Disney, but I hear it's good.
I enjoyed it.
So it's on Disney.
Disney
yes,
Plus.
It is.
Oh boy.
Disney minus.
Yeah, Disney minus.
Yes, sir. It's the only thing Marvel thing on there I've enjoyed so far. I thought it was okay. Sorry to interrupt you there, 24. Go for it.
No, it was I was thinking like Werewolf by Night actually held to the chat, Cam, everybody out there. Say what's up to everybody, Pop.
On a dark and somber night, a secret cabal of monster hunters emerge from the shadows and gather at the foreboding Bloodstone Temple, following the death of their leader. In a strange and macabre memorial to the leader's life, the attendees are thrust into a mysterious and deadly competition for a powerful relic, a hunt that will ultimately bring them face to face with a dangerous monster.
Dude, this thing was done. Like I need to look into it to see who actually really done this show. But if it's people that they've already people that been working for them for a while, I got a few questions at this point, because if they came out with something that was this good, where the fuck were these people at before? If Marvel have always had these people employed.
That's the thing. Those guys, none of them have that big of credits behind their name. But the guy who directed it was the guy who's only done music soundtrack, Michael Giacchino.
And then another thing is how good this thing is. Hopefully they put these people, take this whole team and put them on another project to do some other shit, because the way they pulled this off was fucking amazing, man. And it's like, it's funny how this is one show. This thing was what, 65 minutes.
Yeah, that's short.
It was one show. It was one episode deal, and this thing was better than whole seasons of shit that's been coming out for years.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem, 24. That's the situation we're in, is that something like this that isn't overseen by the powers that be at Disney, something like this can get away with being good. Okay, because there's not a, oh my God, we have to get this person or this person. We have to check all these boxes to get this show done. That's what they have to do with Loki. That's what they have to do with Hawkeye. That's what they have to do with all this other shit that's come out. They have a long list of check boxes they have to do. And that is more important because of the score behind these shows. Everything has to do with this checkbox list. Well, something comes along that's like, yeah, who's ever heard of that? Who wants that? Some random motherfucker out there is like, I'll do it. And he's going to do it badass because he wants more work. He's hungry. He is hungry and he wants more work and he wants to be seen as a badass. On a show like this, they can get away with that. Something like fucking Miss Marvel, Loki, something that Disney sees as important. They have people overseeing everything where all these boxes have to be checked, and that's more important than the story, than the acting, than anything. Than the damn movies, than the damn shit making sense and connecting. We've seen that more than anything. Fucking Marvel cannot keep their shit straight on their own stories. They can't keep what the way shit was in phase 3 with phase 4 with phase 5. None of their shit lines up. Loki conflicts with this other story and they're just like, okay, just go with it. Oh my God. Why can't you just go with it? Why can't you? You're ruining it, 24. You're ruining it. You're ruining the experience by making sense and pointing out that we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Right.
Well, the whole thing, I mean, the introduction of Kang and Loki and that the suggestion that he's like kind of controlling the timeline and stuff, I mean, it throws everything it makes a mess of everything because, okay, so is the Infinity Stones, that was just what he wanted to happen? Or so, I mean, it's like you say, it's a lot of contradictory stuff and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you step back and look at it.
Yeah.
Boy.
You've got directors and you've got writers being told, do not look at the comic book. We do not want you looking at the comic book. We don't want you knowing these characters. Yep. We don't want you understanding the story. We want you doing this our way. Ignore everything else.
You know, it's funny, man. The Last of Us, the little girl that's playing.
Yeah.
The Last of Us.
Do not play the game.
Yeah, so don't play like, so basically they have an established IP and they don't want the actors to get a feel or to understand, how these characters act, like their mannerisms and everything else. They just want for the actor to kind of make up their own version of how the fuck these people are supposed to act, and they already got their own personalities when the fucking character's been around for 30, 40, 50, 60 years.
That's right. And they did the same. Paramount Plus did the same thing with Halo. If the guy who played Master Chief had actually played the games and they would have been like, okay, we want you to take your helmet off, I'd have been like, motherfucker, you out of your goddamn mind? Take my helmet off. Master Chief doesn't take his helmet off until all the shit's said, done, and then it's like, oh, we're going to give you a tease. I'm going to take my helmet off, but you're never going to see my face, fuckers. You're never going to see my face. And instead, they were like, don't pay any attention to the games. Don't read anything about them. Don't look at them. None of this other shit matters, just what we're writing. And the first thing we want you to do is take your fucking helmet off. Okay.
It's fun. At place Boba Fett, they did all the shit to him for him to take the helmet off, and he was telling them, hey, you need to keep the helmet on.
Yep.
Yeah, he was right. He was right.
I mean, yeah, he was like, because he knew, because he understood, like he knew what the fuck was gonna happen, man.
Yes, sir. I agree with that. That's for sure. Well, this is an anomaly, though. Usually,
Look, I'll tell y'all this, man. Anybody that hasn't watched Werewolf by Night, look, man, if you have, I don't recommend you fuck with anything on Disney Plus. I don't give a fuck for that channel or anything they got on there. But this is the one thing that they fucking made that is worth your 1 hour and 5 minutes to sit there and watch this shit from the beginning to end. Make sure you take a piss. Make sure you grab some popcorn, some snacks, or whatever the fuck. Sit there.
Do that, yeah.
Yeah, grab your blunt, your beer, whatever the fuck you're gonna do. Grab that shit, sit there and fucking watch that shit, man. And I tell you what, you will not be upset. An hour and 5 minutes later, after you're done, you're gonna be wondering like, damn. And then you're gonna wonder like, if they had the capabilities of doing this, what the fuck they've been doing, dude. So, man, look, man, this thing is fucking good. Look, it's black and white. It has this old noir feeling. You know, it's an homage to, you know, the Universal monsters. You know, of course, you know, they got Werewolf by Night basically coming off like the Wolfman, and the way they put the story together, it was not woke. Elsa Bloodstone, yeah, she was, you know, kicking a little ass, but she did get hurt, and you know, and it was like she wasn't a Mary Sue, and they played more into how it would have been if anybody would have gotten hurt and somebody was, you know, it's like she wasn't on some I don't need no man type shit, you know. So it was refreshing to watch some shit. It felt more believable, more natural to see men and women interact the way they did on there. And, you know, in today's day and age, the way we look at shit, I mean, we see shit. We have like sight beyond sight. We see shit differently than that. We're not like the average folks. Like, you know, our little small little pocket corner of the internet. We're a unique bunch of motherfuckers, man. I'm telling you, like, we're special, man. We could see shit. We see woke shit. Like, we have family members. We all do. That they just see shit and, oh, yeah. The Watchmen TV show that was on HBO Max was the greatest. Did you see all this and that? You know, they loved it. My brother loved that shit. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, how can you sit there and watch that shit and be cool with it? And he was. And I was like, but we saw it and we saw something different. All of us that put our eyes on it saw something completely different than other people that don't have our sight, man, when it comes to all this woke shit. And when you look at Werewolf by Night, there wasn't nothing woke about it. It wasn't no women are better than men. It wasn't no, you know, nobody was talking down to nobody. It was just a straight up fucking story, man. It was just straight up. It was just what it was, man. And it was refreshing to see them put out something that it didn't follow all the guidelines of all the bullshit that's been going on in we've been watching for like the last 5-6 years, man. So it kind of went against their own grain of what they put out, and it was cool as fuck, man. And the way they did it, they had a lot of style in it, and it was a fucking masterpiece compared to all the other bullshit they put out. This thing is worth watching, man. Dude, anybody can watch it. Go check it out. You won't be mad at all.
See, the problem though today, 24, is that everything is tied into the same source as far as comic books, TV, movies. They used to call it a Q score. Some people say there still is a Q score, but it's been incorporated with Facebook, with Twitter, with all this social justice bullshit that people want to throw out there. Everything from comic books to television to movies has to pass a certain line of social justice credit to get made. If it doesn't, something else is going to get done and they'll just make something else. So for Disney to come out and say, well, we're going to make a very comic book accurate X-Men, they would never be allowed to do that. That Disney would never be allowed to do it. For everybody that's sitting there going, oh my God, I can't wait till Star Wars gets back to Star Wars. You're looking at decades. You are looking at decades. Why? because there's always going to be a social aspect of it that they have to push, because that is the only way they're going to make it. It all is part of that new system that works off of the way the old Q system used to work, and Twitter and Facebook and all this other bullshit that it's all wrapped up in and all wrapped around now. So it's gotta have that social justice, woke, ideological bullshit to survive and get made.
Yep, to get made, it has certain boxes that need to be checked. And they were checked for Werewolf. I can name a few. Still enjoyed it. Thought it was interesting and fun. I mean, I've seen some people say that there wasn't quite it was more about Ilsa. I don't think so. She's a big part of it because they wanted to make it they wanted to make it sort of they wanted to build up to the introduction of Jack being the werewolf. Yes, he was a white dude before. Now he's Hispanic, whatever. That was, again, it doesn't bother me. Just saying that is a box that was checked.
Yes, it's like
Ilsa
it's the mix. It's the mix of the two, Werewolf by Night.
Ilsa was because you mean the later one? Yeah. Jack Russell though was not. But they're using the name Jack. Anyway, Ilsa, for example, when she first showed up, I thought that was Jessica Jones. I'm like, what's Jessica Jones? Or that woman kind of looked like her from the TV.
Yeah, she did, yeah.
Where she looked like a super blonde bombshell in the comics, but whatever. She turned out to be pretty good. She could kick some ass and stuff like that, but she certainly was no Mary Sue or anything. She added the attitude that was kind of, you do see with some of these smarmy Marvel films, but she certainly was not indestructible. And she worked for the episode well. It was nicely filmed, like I said, in black and white, like 24 is saying. It had that kind of Universal monster feel to it. They did tweak Man Thing a little bit, but he looks fantastic, and I don't mind that. I don't mind the way they did it. It was kind of fun. They gave him a little bit, kind of
like a group kind of thing,
group type of a personality. But that's okay. It's different. At least they got his name right, and we really looked good for the thing. And it was overall, it's an entertaining, fun, special type thing. And that's the rub. They need to do things that are shorter, like a special like that here and there. But don't think they didn't tick boxes, because they wouldn't have got it made, like you're saying, Loki, if they weren't able to tick enough of the boxes to get it made. What surprised me is the director, Michael Giancano, whatever. That's the guy that always does movie soundtracks.
Giacchino, yeah.
The Giacchino, whatever his name is. I never saw him as a director before, and he directed this. It must have been him, because these names that I saw, it is for the writing credits, are people that hadn't really done much, but again, it didn't have a lot of lore to live up to. It did. The fact that they picked something obscure like Bloodstone to incorporate into it, I thought was kind of funny. I was actually amused by that.
So were the monsters, were they practical or were they CGI?
Well, I mean, obviously, Man Thing, you couldn't really do much without some computer stuff. But I thought Werewolf really had I think he looked pretty cool.
Yeah, it was actually like a simple like a werewolf. It was like I say, it was just a throwback. So of course, making it look like something from the old Wolfman movies, it's not. Yeah, they didn't need to CGI that.
It was very violent for Disney, by the way.
Oh yeah, man, it was. Boy, that shit was fucking awesome, man.
Okay.
Oh man.
Good evening, Tony. Good evening, Tony.
Hey, Loki, I need to step away for a minute. I've got to take a phone call.
No problem.
15, 20 minutes, hopefully, and then I'll be back.
Okay. We should still be here.
Okay.
All right, later, classic.
All right.
Mark the Emily Tired says, can't wait for Tales of the Jedi and Nomi Sunrider becoming an SJW man-hating Mary Sue. Oh yeah, they're gonna completely ruin Nomi.
Probably.
They're gonna absolutely ruin her. You're talking about it. She was a tempest in the Force. She was like a fucking hurricane in the Force, and they're gonna absolutely ruin her by making her a Mary Sue.
For what?
For Star Wars.
I mean,
okay, so Nomi Sunrider, during there's like a Jedi Civil War that happens where a bunch of the students rebel against the old masters and try and take over. Nomi was one of the students that turned and tried to kill her Jedi master. She had a destiny. She was called like a hurricane within the Force. She was a tempest in a teacup, whatever you want to call it. She was destined to be a a badass.
Right.
And it's an interesting story of her kind of going through rebelling against her Jedi master and eventually coming back to the Force and becoming a Jedi. They're going to make her a fucking man-hating SJW Mary Sue.
Naturally.
Like her master was mean to her and all this shit that had nothing to do with the story, that never had anything to do with the story. They're going to make up all this shit to glorify the fact that she rebelled against the men, the male masters, and became a dark Force user. You're supposed to clap and say, "Oh my God, girl, so stunning and brave."
Right. Well, I guess my question is, what is she coming back in for them to ruin her?
It's Tales of the Jedi, some kind of animated thing.
Oh, it's a cartoon.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I had no idea. All right.
They're going to ruin her character. We all know the story, but of course we all know a bunch of stories from the extended universe that are now bullshit, that they've gone back and twisted and changed and turned and made something it's not. So whatever. I don't give a fuck about Star Wars anymore. So and that's what I just got to keep telling myself. I don't give a shit about Star Wars. I had the first 6 movies. I enjoyed the first 6 movies. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I even like Clone Wars, even though I'm not a real big fan of, what's his name? I even like Clone Wars. So I just don't give a shit about current day Disney Star Wars. Not enough to watch any more of it.
Yeah, me either. So I mean, I tried. There was our boy Mark in there saying, "You're not rattling anybody's cages." There are other people who do like Andor, Mark. I would have to be able to stay awake watching an episode to know if I like one or not, because every time I try, I've fallen asleep 4 times of trying to watch it. But some people like it. So what are you gonna do?
Chris Persia makes an interesting point. Wait until they remake the original trilogy and finally introduce Mara Jade, who teaches Luke how to really use the Force before giving up on him because he's useless in bed. Yeah. Apparently, Luke Skywalker can't get his lightsaber up.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, there you go.
Must have been Obi-Wan trying to get him in bed back on Tatooine.
Oh shit.
Well, that apparently that's something else that will happen. Is Obi-Wan's going to feed Luke Zima soup and then take advantage of him in his basement on Tatooine. What do you got there, 24?
That's cool reprint of the origin stuff in there. Great book, love it.
Yeah, these are pretty cool. This is issue number 1 right here, Secret Origins.
I know Mark wasn't named at me, dude, but
yeah, so
cool.
Yeah, it's the Flash, Superman, Batman, and Hawkman's first battle with Gentleman Ghost.
June Wong with a $5 super chat says, "Speaking of werewolf, can you guys help me remember which film ends with the hero shooting a news anchor who was turning into a she-werewolf?"
Yeah, The Howling, probably with D.
Yeah, it sounds like The Howling.
There you go.
D. Wallace, probably. Wasn't she in that?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah,
Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, it's
Love
issue
those.
number 2. Supergirl, Green Lantern, and the Atom.
Yes, sir. Nice. New pickups or what?
Nah. I've been had them. This is coming out the long box, man. Yeah. Then
Yep. This is Secret
Wonder Woman and,
Origins Volume 1.
Yeah, Wildcat. Yep.
I love Wildcat. Ted Grant.
Oh yeah, man. Wildcat is fucking
great.
awesome. Look what I came across, man. I need to get the rest of it.
No, you didn't. Not Super Friends.
All right.
A DC. Hey, it's a DC TV comic. Yeah.
And the secret hole of the Justice League. Later at the Hall of Justice.
At the Hall of Super Best Friends.
And you remember them too, right?
Super fascist.
You remember them?
Yeah, Wendy and Marvin,
Yup.
Super twins.
the Wonder
And
Twins.
the dog.
Wonder
Well,
Twins
the
powers
Wonder Twins were later.
activate.
They're Wendy and Marvin. They weren't Wonder Twins. It was
And what about
Zan and
this?
Jana were the Wonder Twins. Yep. Cool stuff. Love it. Some great stuff in there. Classic
Remember
stuff
that?
inside. I do indeed. I do indeed. Love it.
Oh, Loki stepped away for a minute. All right.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Have you seen this
man.
before?
Yeah.
Great stuff, man. Only 20 cents.
Yeah, man. Look at that. Doll Man.
Yep. That's an old Golden Age doll man story from, of course, he was one of those quality characters that DC absorbed. DC,
Yeah.
DC National. They absorbed a lot of Golden Age characters from companies that went out of business. He was one of them.
Oh,
Freedom Fighter.
Yeah, Then this is Starman versus the Mist, along with Wildcat.
Blow you
a
up
lot of Golden
24.
Age stuff in there. Blew that.
Blow 24
Blew
up.
that 24 up.
Let me check that out. Some beautiful shit, man. This is some cool stuff, man. And then this is one on Johnny Quick and Our Man.
Nice. Dude, I love those. I'm so glad you know. Great to see him. I love Our Man.
Yeah, man, me too, man.
Johnny Quick was just another speedster, but Our Man was cool.
Oh, Johnny Quick, man. He was fucking awesome, man. I hate that
I've been rereading these. I just started rereading those online. It was an interesting series. They never finished it. Oh, but it lasted a good while though.
Yeah, actually these are I got this issue number 1 right here, man. This is
one indeed.
Say, look, you ever seen this?
Supervillains.
The Secret Society.
Yes, because I remember that clip of Captain Cold.
Yeah, this
is that was an interesting book there. We got.
Look, this is Sinestro and Dark Side. Look, it's crazy. They're fighting the Black Racer. Sinestro fighting the Black Racer.
And Manhunter's on the cover as well.
Yup. Yo, man, these are some good.
That's the clone of actually. That's the clone of Manhunter, actually. But yeah.
Tony Stark got the Middleman.
Oh, you got some Metal
No,
Man?
actually,
Yeah.
I don't, man. I don't.
Love
I don't
Metal
have
Man.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Tony Stark would ask that, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Look at this one.
Oh, I always love this cover.
Captain Comet, DC's
I love Captain Comet.
Oh yeah, man. DC's first mutant, huh?
He was considered to be DC's first mutant. He was. They didn't use him for the longest time as they used him some of those early 50s and 60s Strange Adventures and stuff, and then they brought him back. They brought him back for this book. Bob Rozakis wrote this comic.
Yeah, and it's cool because they had Wally West running with him for a few issues.
Yeah, he didn't pop up much, Captain Comic, but he was in a DC Comics Presents with Superman. I like Captain Comic. It was pretty cool. Man, Adam Blake. What is his name? Adam Blake or something?
Yeah.
Cool. Poor old Captain Comic was left to his own devices, fighting all these villains by himself all the time. Most of the time.
Yeah. Fucking fighting Star Sapphire and Gorilla Grodd and them. That's
the new Star at the time. The new Star Sapphire. Nice. Good to see those. They didn't finish the series, but there was a trade that they added some. A couple of the last issues didn't see print, so they ended up in canceled comics cavalcade. I don't know if anyone's ever seen one of those, but no one has really.
Look at this one with fucking Blockbuster and
Blockbuster. Oh, it's
and
Blockbuster.
Reverse Flash.
Yeah. Chronos.
Man. Yeah, some good shit, man.
Nice. I love it. I can look at old comics all day, dude.
Look, and then this one here is where he heads to Earth 3.
Yep, the crime syndicate, Power
Yep.
Ring.
Yep.
That is true, Tony. They made Grodd was an idiot in this comic. True.
You can't make Grodd a dummy. He has to be smarter.
Yeah,
He has to be smarter.
He was kind of adult in this, if I remember right. I'm rereading. I'm slowly gonna reread them all again.
Oh shit! I got 2 of those.
There you go.
Good evening, Legendary Tron. How are you doing, my friend?
Hey, Legendary Tron.
Look at that.
There you go. I like the crime syndicate.
Yeah, this is actually the first iteration of them.
Yes, the Earth 3, dude. Earth 3.
Yeah, well, you know, the thing is, I noticed that every time they bring them back,
they screw around with them.
Well, you know who always changes more or less would be Power Ring and
Ultiman or no?
No. It's like it basically is Power Ring and what's his name? The fast one, the
Johnny Quick.
Johnny Quick. Yeah, he's normally like it's like they look so much different. Like every time they have, you know, you re-see them. Whenever the universe restarts itself and they run into Earth 3 and they got to fight them all over again, those are the 2 that mainly change a whole lot.
Welcome, Mark D with a C. How are you doing,
guys?
brother?
How's it going? Yeah, just got home. Thank you for the invite. Yep.
Yeah, thank you for hopping on.
Look at that.
You were just looking over some of
24's
cool comic collection.
Very nice.
This is with the Atom and Dr. Midnight.
That's the Golden Age Atom there.
Yeah, this is the Secret Society versus the Justice Society.
Nice.
Who won?
What do you think?
Yeah, just kidding.
Al Pratt.
That was an
Psychodorp
oddball
9,
comic.
take care. Take care, Psychodorp 9.
Take care. Oh man, some of my favorite Flash issues. Well, that's actually
classic.
DC Superstars. Oh man, I love those. God, I love those old covers.
Man, I'm telling you, man, dude, these are just one of thousands.
And you got a lot of space out there, dude. Couldn't resist space.
24 has comics going like across a wall. So he's got long boxes. He's got long boxes. He's got short boxes piled all the way up to the ceiling that go from one wall to the other wall. I was like, my God, you have a lot of comics. I thought, having
bagged and boarded.
3 or 4 long boxes and a couple of small boxes I was like, yeah, man, we've got a shitload of comics. No.
Aquaman. Love it.
Yeah, it's
that's late 70s there.
Yeah, DC Superstars. Yep, you see Black Manta and Ocean Master.
Yep. I love the probably a Paro Aquaman.
Man, I fucking love these. Look, check this out, man.
It's tough to see him, but I remember that. Wow, that is rare. You don't see that much. DC Superstars Giants. That was when Jeanette Kahn came in and said we need to start making these bigger
Never
issues.
saw that one before.
Yeah, DC Superstars Giant.
That's one you don't see much.
Yeah, DC Superstars Giant presents the man behind the gun. Who was he? Warmonger or Peacemaker? So
he was just a guy with a gun.
Just a guy with a gun.
Yeah, shit.
Just like man. Gay Superman is done.
It's tough to see these, but.
Oh, can you blow up 24?
Load that 24
there we
up.
go.
There we go. Oh, Super Team Family. Love those covers.
Oh, you remember those?
Oh, God, yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
This is my childhood right here, dude. I mean, these were on the racks when I was riding my bike to 7-Eleven, man.
Is that Gorilla Grodd and
That's how old I am.
Hawkman's outfit?
It looks like it. I don't know. It's definitely Hawkman's been turned into a gorilla in Gorilla City, if nothing else.
Yeah, it says what strange power changed Hawkman into a killer ape.
Oh,
I bet Grodd did it.
Yeah, so
Grodd probably did it. That Grodd got
I hate it
around,
when that
man.
happens.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Kirby superpowers. Nice.
Yeah, that was just about the last thing Kirby
Mid-80s.
did for DC, wasn't it?
Yeah, sure was. Yeah.
Pretty much the very last thing was this one of the superpowers issues. Oh, I love this issue actually. The Golden
you remember this?
Superman. Oh hell
Oh,
yeah!
yeah.
It's got Rich Buckler interior on. That had the him teaming with the Golden Age Superman. I love that issue.
I've got that.
I knew you did. I knew that you had that.
Yeah.
I always loved that one.
And then, from there.
Oh boy,
Crisis.
the beginning of the
Your
end.
favorite, Mike.
Don't get me started.
Oh yeah, that's Clobby's favorite. It is.
on impotent Earths.
Oh shit! The beginning of the end, huh?
To play, I used to have a soundbite I used to play on my show all the time of Butthead going, "I have a crisis in my pants."
Oh,
He's got a crisis.
In my pants.
Fire in my pants. Oh my God! So we've got a small little segment here,
Oh,
and
some gays.
well, this is by request. This segment that we're about to do, really quick, because it won't take that long. Trust me. That's what she said. This is requested by 24. So we wanted to make sure we got some comic book bootay.
yeah, blame it on
Some
me.
comic book bootay tonight. So all right, you want some comic book booty? We'll do it. And I know what I'm gonna hear here in just a minute. Yo, Loke, that's not what I was talking about. But,
Oh,
here you go. Here's some comic book bootay.
Ugh. She's not in the comic.
We're gonna make that bigger.
She's not in the comic book.
Look.
Oh,
Look.
Jesus.
You know what that is? You know what that is?
Yeah.
that's all.
Bad CGI.
We're
all
all
fine shit.
painfully aware.
It's like it's all leg and no booty.
Oh, look at there. Look at that.
Oh.
That's what we want.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
female empowerment looks like.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Twerking at work. That is so fucking hot. Oh, looky there. Looky there. Hey, all you Daredevil fans out there. Guess what that is? That's what you always wanted to see. That's what you always wanted to see, Daredevil fans out there.
And they didn't even have the guts to have him doing it with her as She-Hulk.
Yep. You wanted to
Much
see
cheaper
Charlie's
than-
cock.
So you got Matthew Murdock banging She-Hulk. That's
Or
great.
Jennifer, not even She-Hulk.
Jennifer.
Yeah.
Oh, looky there.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Mama going to take good care of you.
This is not the.
Well, he doesn't look so upset, I have to say.
This is not the male gaze.
The CGI is so bad. It's so bad. I mean, he looks like he's like sitting down in a chair, but they just kind of took him and yeah.
Well, actually, I saw they have a body double that's looks like she's 7 feet tall for some of the shots.
Yeah.
And then so but I don't know if she'd be strong. I don't think she'd be strong enough to lift the guy up like that and walk, but who knows how they did it. But
Nah, they
But
put a
you-
fucking harness on his ass, and they had
Harness,
like sat him in a crane. That's why he's positioned like that.
Yeah, problem.
remember the Orville episode this season where they had the superpowered security officer is having sex with the engineer?
Lamar.
And she keeps breaking him. So of course they never do
Yes.
that in the superhero world, but I could see
Good
that.
point.
I killed him. I'm gonna need a good lawyer.
Talk about lawyers. There's two lawyers right here. This is exactly what everyone who loved Daredevil wanted when they heard he was going to make his debut on She-Hulk. They wanted him banging She-Hulk. That's what they wanted. They wanted Matthew Murdock in their She-Hulk ship. Why would he downgrade? Because Homegirl and Daredevil was like a 9. And she's
Matthew
like
Murdock. You mean
fucking
Matthew
2.
Murdock?
You mean Elektra?
Oh, well, shit. Take Elektra, take the blonde.
But he never really got
Karen
with
Page.
Karen that much, though.
Yeah.
At least in the show. But yeah, she's fantastic.
They had her with getting involved with Punisher for some reason, which never made sense to me.
But yeah, but some Punisher wouldn't go there. But yeah, you're right. I mean, she never really continued it with Matt that much, and then you had Elektra. So yeah, it's all over the place. But Matt.
She got all pissy with him in season 2 because she was like on the side of the Punisher and thought Matt was being a little bitch. But then she finds out Matt's fucking Daredevil and she's like, "Oh my god, can we like totally go out and get coffee?"
This though, yeah, I mean, it's the least of this show's problems.
Clobberin Times, was that your favorite rap singer of all time on the right there? Did you know who she was before?
We already talked about that. When they kept mentioning this person in that episode,
people always gonna ride Clobberin Times for that shit.
When they were mentioning this person in the episode, I was like, okay, I just assumed it was a made-up person, I was like, fine, I didn't care because I'd never heard of whatever this person. I still don't know the name. I forgot about it already. So when I started to think, is this like somebody that really exists or something, and I didn't know it till later when people were talking about, oh, that was a real human, real so-called pop star. Well, singer might be debatable, but
as a big ass
celebrity, okay?
I didn't know who it was.
A real celebrity. How about that?
That's a giant ass.
This is this is.
So that's what I get.
Doing this to us is what I want to know.
It's all 24.
I want to see some superhero booty, and that's what I get.
Why 24? Why?
I'm just saying. I was like, yo, I want to see some superhero booty, and I guess that's that.
And you still
just look at my avatar. That's all you need to do.
That's all I get, right?
That's all you get.
That's true. They made Doomcock the villain. That's they certainly took a shot at him and all the other fans.
Yeah.
Why are fans horrible? Fans know the real lore. Fans have kept track of the lore. Fans have been reading for decades. And they know to call you on your bullshit when you screw something up.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why we're bad.
Yeah, that's
why we're bad.
We're toxic.
At least we're getting a comic accurate name more, right? Oh, what's that? Oh, I guess not, right?
More. Did you hear the way he pronounced it? And they had a sound clip of the actor saying the name.
He says Namor.
It says Namor.
No more.
Yeah, no more is what it should be called. This movie should be no more.
Didn't he watch the 60s cartoons?
No, he didn't watch anything. He's just got things in his nose, and he's a paunchy like dude pretending to be not even in Atlanta. I don't know what the hell he is. He's in a dumb 8-hour movie that I'm gonna have to go sit through. Ugh.
Why are you gonna have to go sit through the movie?
I got a buddy of mine that would go see all the Marvel movies together.
Oh yeah,
right. I remember. Yeah, you would get dragged to the motherfuckers.
No, I mean I feel bad. He can't go without me bringing him, and I hope he's not listening to this. I want to fix that. I feel bad, but I look every time. I'll admit this. Even the worst ones, I had some sort of. I don't care how bad it was. Eternals, Love and Blunder, which I hate. There was some mild interest there where I was like, okay, at least I can go see how bad it is and I can review it. This is the first time I actively, because I'll sit through any old garbage. I really will. This is the first time I'm like, I really don't want to go see
You
this.
watch Star Trek Picard.
I'll sit through anything. That's what I said.
Yeah.
This is the one time I honestly don't want to go sit through this thing.
That second season of Picard was so bad, and the first season was bad too. But
they're both bad.
my God,
The season was worse.
I'm gonna eat batteries. I'm gonna eat car batteries because I'm bored. Yeah.
See the trailer for 3?
Oh God,
Dude, I tell you what, I'm gonna get Clobberin Times to watch Robin Hood with me.
Which one are you? There's a lot of Robin Hoods. I only like one.
The black chick, the Robin Hood.
Who? What? What's that?
The Robin Hood season 1. That's
That's a
coming
new
out.
show. Oh,
It's gonna
okay.
be a-
Yep. Where
I'll get right on that.
yep. It's the woke Robin Hood reboot.
Oh,
Is it kind of like the new Equalizer?
probably.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Speaking of big asses,
No,
Yeah.
I'm being for real.
Oh yes.
Do
The
I have to, 24?
equalizer. The equalizer having a big ass.
Well, I mean, it's a
So are you looking forward to that one, 24? Or no?
not really. But if you know, if we got to watch it, might as well do it with you, man. We'll bear the pain together.
I don't think I can watch that, dude. Look, when it comes to Robin Hood, it's Errol Flynn or nobody else. I can't even. I hate Kevin Costner and anyone else that tries to be.
Really?
Oh, I hate that movie.
You didn't like the Kevin Costner?
Oh my
movie?
god, it's painful.
I liked it. I
Really?
have the extended cut to that.
I hate it.
Yeah, so do I. I've got
Kevin Costner with his stupid, unbelievable, weird accent in that movie. Is like
He forgot to do his accent in some scenes.
It's like he's terrible in that movie. He's so bad.
So hold on. Without actually like calling him out on it, because I wasn't going to do this. One of my buddies convinced our 6th grade teacher to let us watch Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Mm.
And in 6th grade, so this is, it had just come out. And I was like, dude, it's got curse words. No, it doesn't. I'm like, yeah, it does. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. And my teacher was like, well, what curse words does it have in it? And I'm like, well, I can't say them. So she ends up watching it. So she skips through certain parts. And at the end of the movie, when what's his name? God, why don't I want to call him Errol Flynn? It's not Errol Flynn. It's
agreed, Leia.
Kevin Costner.
No, it's his brother.
Morgan Freeman.
Not Morgan Freeman. It's his brother.
Whose brother?
Christian Slater.
Christian Slater.
Oh God!
When he goes to launch him off the catapult, I stood up in class and I said, "Fuck me, cleared it." And she looked at me, dude, and I sat down in my seat and I was like, "Well, I tried to tell you."
I didn't watch too much of it before I turned it off. But I'll take Errol Flynn.
And yes, Alan Rickman, Sheriff of Nottingham, is absolutely awesome. Yes. You, my Chambers, 330. You, 334. Bring a friend.
Give me Errol Flynn and Basil Rathbone any day. But that's just me. I'm old. Get off my lawn.
My favorite is the Disney one. That's actually the first Disney movie I ever
Yes.
saw.
Yeah,
I got
Robin Hood and Little John walking through the forest. Yes.
Yeah, I got like the 40th or 50th anniversary of that one. Yeah.
Oodle-lolly, golly, what a day.
And how about Rockin' Robin Hood, the Canadian cartoon that Raquel's always telling us about? I watched a few of the episodes. They're pretty good, but
it's not really anything to do with
Never heard of that one.
Yeah.
It's
a
not
Canadian
really Robin Hood.
cartoon, yeah.
It's a science fiction cartoon, but it's by the same people who did the old Spider-Man cartoon in the 60s.
Yep. It's not bad, though.
No, yeah. The Gantry Limited studio, whatever they were. But yeah, so no, I'm gonna Wakanda. I don't know. Black Adam's even less interesting to me. That looks like dog crap.
Well, now everybody's going crazy over it because you're supposed to get. Has everybody seen the end of the movie? Does anybody want it ruined?
What? I don't care.
Go.
But
supposedly after. So, guys, spoiler ahead. Supposedly this is the end of the movie. God only knows if this is the truth or not. Take it for what you will.
Oh.
The Rock has defeated all comers. He's like pounding his chest. He's like, "Who's next?" And boom, Superman is there. And they look at each other and they fly towards each other like they're going to hit each other. And that's the end of the movie.
Can you smell what the Rock is cooking and then it ends?
Yeah.
Well,
so that's supposedly that's the end of the movie is Black Adam being like, who's next? I'll take everybody out. Who's next? And boom, there's Henry Cavill Superman. And
Well,
Man.
that won't hurt it in certain circles, will it?
So,
Hey, what day is that movie coming out? The 21st, 23rd?
21st, I think.
Of
It's
this
not
month?
this Friday, but next
Right.
Friday.
Of November.
really, it's this month.
No, it's this month.
Yep.
Holy shit! I'll be in Dallas, so I ain't fucking going
Oh.
to see it.
I'll be
see it when I get back.
like the Wolf Man. I'll chain myself, put myself in a cage, so I can't go be dragged out to see it in case somebody tries to talk me into it.
I'm gonna laugh my ass off though if that is the end of the movie. If that's the end of the movie and that's the way it ends, Superman shows up and they go to
Right.
fly at each other like they're gonna hit each other, and boom, they just go to black. I'm gonna be like, man, you fucking twats, bunch of
Yeah,
fucking
that would be
twat
funny.
waffles.
My
Who did
ass-
you get to do the end of the movie? Special guest ending by Zack Snyder. Oh well, that fucking makes sense.
That is such the kind of dumb shit they would do, and people are like, well, that's great. We don't get to see him for 3 seconds. The people who care are going to be like, so that's what you call a Superman cameo.
Yep.
Well,
And that would be funny. My ass would be completely laughed off as well. If that
I
happens.
mean, what would somebody expect if they know that he's showing up at the end of the movie, but they don't go into a full blown fight? I mean,
They'll be pissed, of course.
yeah, but that's not what the movie. The movies ain't about him fighting Superman. So
No.
Phantom Outsider says what he heard was they decided to have Superman confront Black Adam with "You can do whatever you want in Kandahar, but if you leave here, I'll deal with you and no fight." That's even worse. That's like some pussy ass bullshit.
I'd say that's I think if I had to say which is a bigger CTs, it would be the one with them heading to each other and then it ending. Like the end of Rocky 3.
oh yeah, what
they're
when they
going
both
down.
swing at the same time?
Yep.
Yeah, except
That was built up.
I remember when Rocky 4 came out, we're like, wow, we're gonna get to see the fight. And we walk in there all dumb. Like, I love Rocky 4, but I'm saying this would be different though, because you would expect to see the fight later. So people would go, oh, we're gonna get to see that fight. They wouldn't count on it.
Well, are you
And
ready?
hey, Clobby, here's your best news of the year right here. Top news right here. Man of Steel 2.
Electric Boogaloo. What about it?
Oh, I can't wait
Well, they've
for
been
you to
saying
get
that
tickets
for
to
10
that
years. Believe it when you see it, folks. And then don't go watch it. I'm just kidding.
Well, I tell you what. Are you ready to see Henry Winkler in this Black Adam movie?
Yeah, he's
I wanna see
I wish he'd have played Black Adam.
Anytime I get to see Henry Winkler
Yeah.
covered in bees, I'm all good.
I wish he'd have played. He should have played Black Adam.
No, you know who Henry Winkler is?
The Fonz.
Yeah,
Should be
he's the
Black Adam,
Fonz.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The Fonzie.
All right.
Yeah,
He's
covered
in-
in bees.
He's in
I
Black
don't know.
Adam. Who is he playing?
Why is he in Black Adam?
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, they're gonna do like a flashback deal
He's gonna-
of the old JSA, and he's actually gonna be the original Adam.
Al Pratt. Well, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Al Pratt's very short, and Henry Winkler is short.
Well, see, the thing that's gonna fuck it up is they're gonna have it to where in back in World War II he was called Adam Smasher.
Oh crap!
Exactly. That's how they're gonna fuck that up. So instead of him being the Adam and his
He's
grandson,
not supposed to be Adam Smasher.
you watch because he passes down the suit.
Yeah. Ugh.
There's a lot of backstory apparently we're gonna get with this shit. That's just like, yeah, why are you doing this giant backstory?
Well, and it's funny because every trailer I see, Hawkman gets his ass whooped in every trailer.
Of course. Look, I'm sorry. There's still only about like 30 or 40 rabid fans who've been wanting this thing for 15 years. Who really needed the Rock? You heard it in all these big fan message boards on all over for like 10, 15 years now. A few people said the Rock should play Black. Who gives? He was never an interesting character except when he was a Black. Excuse me, not Black Adam. When he was when he was really Black Adam, the Captain Marvel villain. When he became the big silly anti-hero in the 2000s, why does anyone care about him? Why did he get a movie? Why? Because of The Rock. That's why. And because he heard a bunch of people saying you should play this character, like he knew who it was. Who's clamoring for this thing? Why?
Apparently there is
Fucking
a
fans?
picture. Apparently there is a picture of him sitting there reading a Shazam comic. When he was like watching his dad wrestle, he was sitting there and he he knows the character. Apparently, this is just like I've seen the picture. You can look the picture up if you want to. But it's the closest I think we've ever gotten to a celebrity that's like, yeah, I know the character, I love the character, and he's actually got some form of proof that he might. I mean, if you believe the picture and it's not bullshit, like the Matt Smith shit.
Well, fuck. Then why the fuck is he bald headed? And I mean, he could at least fucking put some hair on his head and come with the pointed ears. Even if he didn't come with the pointed ears, he could have had the little fucking hair on his head, man. And do something, man. No shit. The fucking suit is god awful, man. You can have a cosplayer do a better suit than that, man.
Well, that's been DC. That's been a problem with DC for the past 20 years.
They released a scene with him killing a bunch of dudes, and I was just about to fall asleep during it. It was like, what, a minute? Like, yeah, we get it. He's gonna kill a bunch of people, whatever. He's gonna beat up superheroes. Why are they making this thing? It's gonna hope it tanks like a. It is gonna tank. I'm gonna kill right now. It's gonna not do well.
Did they ever say why they didn't go with the pointed ears, or what? Did they just totally change his origin?
Probably because he didn't think it looked good.
You're probably right. Yeah.
It's his ego. I'm not gonna put those ears on.
Yeah.
I'm the Rock. I don't have to do that.
And yeah, the word of the day, Akimi Mara, is twat waffle. Thank you. Absolutely. And we're getting out of here. Anything you want to shout out, anything you want to throw out, anything you want to say before you get out, promote, by all means, now's the time.
About half an hour, I will be on live again with the great good buddy Nick Weiser. We'll be talking about the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, Spider-Man the Animated Series. So that's about a half hour. And then tomorrow night, the Clubhouse with Raquel and Mark D hanging out, talking some New York City Comic-Con. Mark D attended this past weekend.
Is Nick bringing pizza?
He better.
If Nick brings pizza, I'll be there.
Well, if he does, pizza for everybody.
Pizza for everybody. You heard it here first. Make sure you don't miss Clobberin Time and Nick's stream about Spider-Man, the 90s.
It's really going to be about pizza. I've decided to change it now.
Okay.
Millions of pizzas. Pizza. There you go.
Pizza. Cal L. Stephen M says, thank you so much, Loki, and the rest of the amazing panelists for an awesome live stream. Take care, everybody. Take care.
All right, buddy.
You as well.
Take it easy, brother.
Anybody else got anything they want to shout out before we get out of here? And I just have to say, Mark D, your Invisible Woman has a bad ass.
I knew you guys would like that one. Yeah. So it was at Comic-Con. I got my Micronauts #1 signed.
By who?
By Golden.
Michael Golden.
Yeah. So okay. I got $30 each. I almost had a heart attack. I brought 1 through 12, and then they said, they said the other issues were $20, but the #1 was $30. So
that's just to get a signature expensive. On his own comic.
Yeah, on his own comic. See how small the signature is too. It's like it's itty bitty. Where the heck is it? It's like
he just like he scribbled on it, man.
Yeah, it's like could you have written that a little bit bigger for $30? But it's always interesting to meet him. And but yeah, the Comic-Con was a lot of fun. So we're doing a show on that.
Yeah, Micronauts was a good series.
If you ever get a chance, I don't know if you're a EU book fan. Timothy Zahn, I think I spent $80 on a first edition part 1 of the Thrawn trilogy.
Nice.
And then it was like $20. That guy was like, thank you, Loki, for seeing me. And now, I mean, it was like personalized message. And I was like, son of a bitch, for $100. That's like, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for $3. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, he's a nice enough guy. I've met him at a bunch of cons now, but my favorite book as a kid, and he's nice enough, but I don't know, it's just obscene. I think $30. Anyone to
crazy,
I guess, but they got to make their money too. So I guess, and I paid it. So it's you had to pay extra if you wanted it to be certified with CBC, and then they have you want it graded. It's like, just sign it, you know, if someone wants to sell it someday when I'm long gone, God bless you. But to spend all this money and slab and everything, I don't know. I guess maybe if you got some issues now that are worth a ton of money, you might have to do it. But I just like opening the books and reading them once in a while too. So it's but yeah, Comic-Con was a lot of fun. So, you know, a lot of cosplay, but of course, you know, this, you know, the movies have kind of ruined it too, because it's not us old school comic book fans. It's, you know, the cosplayers and the you know, Hollywood stuff, which is fun too in some ways. But you know, Black Panther, they kept pushing the new Black Panther Wakanda movie, and there's all kinds of merch and stuff around. But I don't think anyone's too excited by it. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's a fun day to go out and. You know, you just got to take have a budget, like when you go to the casino. You know, you got your budget, you got to stick to it. Otherwise, when you pull out the credit card, it could get. And I came back with $100 in my wallet, so I was proud of myself. So, like,
you don't have to. You don't have to tell me that. I went to that Star Wars Nashville convention, and the entire back seat was nothing but like Playmates, Star Trek ships.
Those. Yeah, you got a nice haul there.
Yeah,
that's some good stuff. Yeah,
too much money. Too much money. I should have waited and held off.
I picked up. I got this pig pin. It was a Chase pin, so I got that.
Nice.
So that's a trading card pin. So I got that was a Chase one. Let's see. I think I've got the other one hiding around here.
Damn,
dudes, I'm gonna run now so I can get ready.
You got to run, right, Clobby?
Yeah. So thanks everybody.
Clobby, thank you,
Appreciate
brother,
it,
for
brother.
being here.
You guys keep running. Don't let me stop you.
Well, we're gonna be going here in a minute.
Yeah,
right,
but I just want to show those. Take care, Clobberin Times. Yep. So I got this at they're a Chase. You know, it's a bat. What do they call it? It's like it's like a Spider-Man.
Those are cool as shit.
Yeah, they were cool. Now they were $15 each. I should have maybe gotten more, but then they have 6 pins, and then they've got 2 Chase.
Oh, is that Goblin?
Yeah, so you got Goblin,
Nice.
2 Spideys, Electro, Black Costume, and Spider-Woman. So this was the best one Chase pin to get. Actually, I got lucky with Venom. So that was a good one. Oh, it's upside down. That was a good one to get. And then I picked up. I should show these real quick so we can get out of here. They have these I love Hallmark ornaments, and my tree is totally
Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen. And I got the Dialect.
Oh, that's cool.
War Dialect, yep. And the Gonk droid.
Gonk.
Yeah, sorry.
That's cool as shit.
I'll kill the oh, here we go. Here, if I do I don't know if you can hear that.
Yep.
oh shit.
Gonk.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
You are an enemy of the Daleks. You must be destroyed.
Oh, that's cool as shit.
Exterminate! Exterminate!
Of course, I go on eBay after the show, and these are going for like this guy was going for like $100 or $150 a Gonk droid. I'm like, shit, I should have bought 2 of them. They were only $30, but that's what's bad about the, you know, they're limited edition, and then, you know, people go on eBay and then they, you know, I guess, yeah, if you're not at the con, you can't get them. But we also had the mouse droid too, so yeah, that goes with the Gonk droid. But you know, scalpers jack up the prices, but you had to be at the con to get those. But yeah, so it's funny. What else did I? Oh, and I got last 2 things to show. I always got a lot. I see. This is all I bought. It wasn't too bad. I got Inigo Montoya.
Yeah, and he's cut too. He's got the cuts on him. I love that.
He's cut, and I got a little itty bitty Uhura, and I also got.
That's Mirror Uhura too.
Mirror Uhura, yeah. I also got Vincini. Where did he go? I got too much stuff in the room. Inconceivable. So these were a deal. These were $15. I'm like, that was a good deal for action figures. So
yeah,
I grabbed those. So and I should have gotten some more. They were there. And then I picked up the other thing I love too is Hercules, the limited series. So I picked up what they were selling was a lot of, which was smart, a lot of packages of series
actually,
all together.
I have all 4 of those autographed.
By Leighton, right? Yep.
Yeah.
So so it's nice what they do. They have a lot of comic book guys. They're selling packages of limited series or runs. Like they had like ROM. They were selling. They're all together. Like here's the whole run if you got the money. So which is kind of fun. But yeah, it was a good time. So
Heck yeah. Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing that with us tonight. Big thanks to Classic Comics for coming on and being part of the discussion. Thank you, my friend. And 24 guys, we're out of here. We will be back tomorrow morning for a special Thirsty Thursday with Pops. But until then, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter. We'll see you guys next week on the Comic Book Roundtable.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.